Let's Go event in Pokemon Go is here, so we're going to go over the top tips to help you guys max out on this event in Pokemon Go. So welcome to the Trainer Club. Here we go. The Let's Go event in Pokemon Go is here from Tuesday, March 21st, all the way until Wednesday, March 29th. And at the same time, during this event, we're going to have a second event on the back end of this event, starting on the 25th, which is going to include the Team Go Rocket Takeover, which will include a brand new, potentially, new Shiny Shadow Pokemon coming from Rocket Leaders. And then also at the same time, the Grunts are going to be able to award you brand new Shiny Shadow Pokemon as well, which is a very cool concept. So as we get closer to that event, we will go over all of the tips and things coming out about this event, including all of the Pokemon that can be Shiny Shadows, which is very exciting. The bonuses of the event are going to include the reduced waiting time to be able to open your Meltan box, which we will talk about here in a second. You're going to be able to get 2 times transfer candy for Pokemon. There's going to be increased chances of getting XXS and L Pokemon, and then increased chances of finding the Ditto Disguise Pokemon as well, which are going to be brand new during this time. And then during this event, there's going to be a Meltan Shiny. We will have raid bosses, spawns, and the like. So let's not waste any time getting about top tips, starting off with tip number 1. Tip number 1 is going to be all about the Meltan in Pokemon Go. So there's 2 different ways that you can get this Pokemon. If you do want to see the complete video, you can check it out up here, or I will put the snippets at the end of the video. If you want to check the timestamps and get you there, you can. But there's 2 different scenarios that you can get there. So number 1 is going to be connect to Let's Go and be able to get and transfer a Pokemon from Pokemon Go into Let's Go. That will reward you a mystery box, which you can get Meltan spawns from. Or the second option is easier, and what I suggest doing is connecting into Pokemon Home. Very, very simple and easy to be able to do so. Is all you have to do is download Pokemon Home. Then you are going to sync your Pokemon Go and Pokemon Home, and then all you'll have to do is log into your Pokemon Go account. Then you're going to go click into the main menu, into the settings. Then in the settings, you are going to scroll down to connected devices and services. Then you go to Pokemon Home, and then you have to sign into your Nintendo account here, and then you will transfer. It says how to transfer from Pokemon to Pokemon Home. So you will basically be opening a Pokemon Go, going into the settings, selecting Pokemon Home, which is the old menu. You will sign into your account, and then how to transfer is all you do is open settings, select Pokemon Home, and sign into your thing, and then you're going to go send Pokemon to Pokemon Home, and then you'll be able to get the transport energy, and then you'll be able to select the Pokemon you want to transfer, and then you will be able to send it, and then you will be able to open it. However, if you have tried to transfer it and you've already sent Pokemon and it says you can't send those Pokemon, or it doesn't give you the right thing, is all you're going to have to do is go into Pokemon Home, and you'll have to accept the transfer of those Pokemon, and then you can release those Pokemon into the wild. And then also, if your box gets full over in the Pokemon Home, you can release those Pokemon as well. So Meltan box, what should we do with Meltan? Well, Meltan is a steel type Pokemon when it goes into Melmetal. It's going to be 400 candies per evolve, but this is treated as a mythical or a legendary Pokemon, so every single time you do catch it, it's giving you 3 minimum XL candy. So what you could do at the same time while you are catching this Pokemon is use Mega Aggron, or you could also use the Mega Steelix. If either of those are Mega level 3 for you, which you guys should have if you listen to my tips, at least one of those to Mega level 3, because steel types are very important, and I mean, it's a boss Pokemon, you might as well be getting extra XL candy there. Use that Pokemon, catch a lot. And then as far as GBL goes, in the Great League it's ranked 222, in the Ultra League it's ranked 190. However, in the Master League it is going to be ranked 20 with Thunder Shock, Superpower, and the brand new moveset of Double Iron Bash. So you're going to want to try to get a 100% IVF possible. And if you are in the snowy weather or around that weather and you do plan to get it at some point in time, let's say maybe it's going to snow tonight at 8, I would suggest waiting to open your Meltan box and then opening it at 8. It will go for a grand total of 1 hour, and you guys can get the shiny in there. So make sure to do this each and every time, and you can increase the chances of getting this. And then after that you are done, I would suggest you select all these Pokemon and then transfer them. So that is then going to lead us to tip number 2. Tip number 2 is going to feature the first round of Pokemon, which are going to be the Pans, Panpour, Pansage, and Pansear. So these Pokemon will actually be spawning in the wild, and they will feature in field research of the event. So let's check out the field research right now, because just remember, all these Pokemon, they are typically regional Pokemon, so you normally cannot get them, and they have the potential to be shiny. So if you don't have one of the shinies, especially not your regional shiny, this is a great time to focus on these. Field research tasks are as follows. Catch 3 Ditto, which is going to be either a Pansage, Pansear, or Panpour option at 410 is the 100% IV. Then we have a collection challenge that will be a Ditto in all the pans, which will give you a Meltan encounter and 5,000 Stardust. And then next we are going to have a special research quest line that's catch 10 Pokemon for 5 Pokeballs, make 10 curveball throws for 5 raspberries, power up a Pokemon 5 times for 1,000 Stardust for 1,500 XP, and a Mankey encounter in stage number 2. We have catch 15 Pokemon for 10 Pokeballs, makes 10 great throws, which is going to be a Pineapple Berry for 5, and then transfer 20 Pokemon for 5 Great Balls for 2,000 XP, a Metatite, and then in stage number 3, power up a Pokemon 10 times, 10 Great Balls. If I was you guys, I would power up low-level Pokemon just to make sure that we're all on the same page and saving Stardust. Make 7 great throws for an Incense. We have defeat a Team Go Rocket member for 3 revives, 2,500 XP, and a Machoke encounter. And then at stage 4, Professor Willow is currently performing an investigation regarding this research. Check back for more for 500 XP, for 1,000 XP, and 1,000 Stardust. And then I believe that this part will probably open towards the rocket. So good luck on getting these regional Pokemon. They are quite cool, quite unique, and regional, and they can be shiny. So with that said, let's get into tip number 3. Tip number 3 is going to be about the spawns during this event and the brand new Ditto Disguises. So we have brand new Pokemon that can be Ditto. This will go after this event, will be the future for which Pokemon can be Ditto, if you guys do need to reference this. So these Pokemon are Diglett, Grimer, Snubbull, Corphish, Starly, Roggenrola, Tympole, as well as Litleo. So all these Pokemon can be shiny, but if they are shiny, they will not change into shiny Ditto. What has to happen is you have to catch that Pokemon, and then when you catch it and it changes into Ditto, that change has the potential to produce a shiny Ditto. So I just want to make you guys aware of that. So as far as these Pokemon go, they are also obviously the spawns of the event. Unfortunately, none of them are really any good for anything. So these Pokemon are sheerly looked out as shiny Pokemon. So what you want to do to get shiny Ditto is literally catch as many Pokemon as possible. There's not really a trick to this, but do pay attention to your local Discords, Facebook groups, and other things. And if you do find a Pokemon that can be a Ditto and where it's at, I would suggest posting that location so people will know, and make sure to post in there and tell other people that, hey, if you find a Pokemon that is Ditto, let us know. We can all go and check that Pokemon, catch it, and see if it will be shiny for us. Not only that, we're going to have all the pans spawning as well, and then we have a couple other Pokemon if you are lucky. We do have the Trubbish. The one cool thing about the Trubbish is that it does give you an extra Stardust boost, so that is a very important Pokemon to catch. Not only that, we are going to have the Galarian Stunfisk, which is a rarer Pokemon. It does have a shiny, and this Pokemon is actually very relevant for PvP. And then finally, we have Goomy. Goomy does not have a shiny, but it is a rarer shiny. I suggest saving all of those Goomies and then trading them over 100 kilometers to get you extra XL candy for that Pokemon. I do anticipate that that Pokemon will have a calm day, but as of right now, this is where it sits. And the Stunfisk in the Great League is actually going to be ranked 2 with Mudshot, Rock Slide, and Earthquake at a 0, 12, 15, so you do have the potential to be getting those IVs in the wild. And then in the Ultra League with the exact same moveset, it is ranked 21, which is very cool. And then Goodra is currently ranked 135 in the Great League at a 114, 14, but in the Master League, it is ranked 77 with Dragon Breath, Muddy Water, and Draco Meteor. So those are going to be all the spawns during the event. Focus on catching yourself shiny Ditto, enjoying yourself, which is then going to lead us to tip number 4. Tip number 4 is going to be all about the extra large and small Pokemon that are going to be spawning in the wild. So if we think about this, guys, you can get more of these Pokemon right now. The badge to get Platinum is going to be 500 of each. So that may be a daunting task for you guys, but let me let you in on a little bit of a secret, which I will put in a separate video if you ever want to reference in the future. There are 2 ways that you can get extra bonus points, I guess you would call it, for these Pokemon. All you have to do is if you find a level 1 version of these Pokemon, such as a Rattata, let's say you found an extra small Rattata. If you evolve it into Eradicate, that will count as 1 extra find for an extra small. So you have it, you evolve it, that will give you 1 extra. And then if you trade it with somebody and they trade you back an extra small Pokemon, that will count as another one. So the key here is you can search bar XXS or XXL, not with the or, one at a time, and then you will be able to see all your Pokemon. If you want to see both of them, you can do XXS and sign XXL, and your entire bag will populate. Then you can see all these Pokemon that you can evolve all those Pokemon, and then make sure you tell somebody else, hey, save all these Pokemon during this event. And then what you can do is trade all of those Pokemon, and it will count towards your medal. So that's an easy hack to be able to get you even further along with that medal in Pokemon Go, which is then going to lead us into tip number 5. Tip number 5 during this event, we'll talk about transferring Pokemon. I want to remind you guys that bag space is very important. So what I suggest doing is saving the legendary Pokemon or the higher CP Pokemon, anything 2500 Stardust power up and above, for transfer XL increased candy. What I mean by that is when we did have that bonus that just recently came out where you get 2 times the likelihood, and then when we did have the Shinx Comday, which was a long time ago, we had 4 times the likelihood of XL transfer candy. You save those Pokemon because when you do transfer them during those events, you will get a higher yield of XL candy, which I think is important, but you have them all in a tag. And when you have them in a tag, if at some point your bag starts getting, really full, you can consider transferring some of the Pokemon from there. Have a priority in there of which ones are more important and which ones are less important. But as far as other Pokemon go, maybe you've been saving some, transferring these Pokemon out are important to have more bag space to operate more efficiently during events. Think about this. Are you ever going to power this Pokemon up? If the answer is yes or no, then transfer it. If you have not been doing your 100 trades a day to save Pokemon for 100 trades per day, I highly suggest that you find the people that you want to trade with, you trade with them, and then you transfer all those Pokemon that you got from trades to yield XL candy and regular transfer candy. And if you could trade with them over 100 kilometers, you're guaranteeing an XL candy, and you'll guarantee 3 candy, and then you transfer it on top of that. So that's a great way to be able to yield extra candy as well. Not only that, are you saving this Pokemon because it's emotional, because you think maybe somebody will want it? If anybody hasn't asked for it recently, then transfer it. If you don't need XL candy for it, it is not going to be needed. If it's not going to be a leverage trades, transfer that as well. And if it doesn't have a Comday, or at some point it may not be very viable, I suggest you guys start transferring out your bag. Look through there, go through all of your Shadow Pokemon, go through all of your Shiny Pokemon, go through all of your Legendary Pokemon, go through every Pokemon that is sitting in your bag and taking up space, because that is impeding on you playing in Pokemon Go, and we want to make sure you're efficient. So let's talk about Shiny Meltan in Pokemon Go. How are you going to be able to obtain it? The one thing you have to do is to open a mystery box. So you are going to need Pokemon Go as the app, obviously, to be able to play, and then also you're going to need Pokemon Home. Pokemon Home is also an application. So once you do download that from the App Store, you guys are going to have to go in there and set up all of the settings. And then what's going to happen is you're going to have to open up Pokemon Go, right? Obviously. So we're going to go into the Pokeball. Then we are going to go into the settings. And then we are going to scroll all the way down to Pokemon Home at the bottom. So we have the Pokeball Plus, we have Nintendo Switch, and then we have Pokemon Home. The Nintendo Switch is going to be how you get the other Meltan option. Honestly speaking, guys, I would probably prefer you guys to do this one. It's so much easier, especially if you don't have Pokemon Let's Go, which is going to be required to be able to get that Meltan, which I already have. I've already been there. I don't use it anymore because this is so much easier. You don't even have to go through anything else except in your phone. So Pokemon Home, once you do click it, it's all synced up. We have everything synced out. You log into your Nintendo account at the bottom. Once you log into your Nintendo account, then that's going to sync Pokemon Go and Pokemon Home. So what happens here is we said, send a Pokemon. You have transport energy. The transport energy is not super effective or really mean too much, except if you're trying to send a massive amount of Pokemon in there. What Pokemon Home is basically a database of stored Pokemon that you can send from all of your different games and potentially take it from those games and put it into other games. But that's not important. What is important is selecting a Pokemon here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click a Rhyhorn. You only have to send one Pokemon. Then I'm going to see I have all the transport energy. I'm going to click transport. Then if it has the ability to, which I already have done this. So you see I got an error message. So that's really good for us in general. So let's go into Pokemon Home. The reason you would get an error message is I have already sent a Pokemon into Pokemon Home and I have not collected it yet. So what we have to do in Pokemon Home is we have to accept this. So as I open it, it says one or more Pokemon have been transferred from Pokemon Go. Would you like to receive them? I am going to say yes. And it's asking me if I want to upgrade my stuff, which I don't. And so once you click receive, it's going to show you everything. I'm going to click at the bottom, it says Pokemon Go link. I'm going to click receive. I'm going to view that transferred Pokemon, and then I'm going to receive that transferred Pokemon. You receive the transfer Pokemon. So now we have our Pokemon in here. So I have received this, and now I'm gonna go back over into Pokemon Go. I'm gonna click transport. The transport is going to commence. I am gonna get an XL candy, and then it's gonna tell me that my mystery box is now available, which I am gonna click OK. Then I click done. I go all the way back, and you have to wait until the event starts in your local time zone to be able to enact this, to be able to get it. So then if I go back into my items, I see my mystery box, I am gonna click it. I click open. Once I click open, it's gonna give you an hour on that mystery box. After the hour, it's gonna disappear. If you go back into your settings, into your items, and then you click on your mystery box again, it will say how many days you have to wait until this mystery box is available to be able to get again. Then you have to repeat this process where you have to go into Pokemon Home. Once you go into Pokemon Home, it's going to click Start. Then it's gonna say you have a Pokemon that has come from Pokemon Go. You click yes. At the bottom, you click the Pokemon Go link. You click View Transferred Pokemon and you receive that Pokemon. And that is going to enact a availability to be able to send another Pokemon. So I do that as soon as I have transferred that Pokemon in. I go into Pokemon Home and I receive it. So then next time I need the Meltan box, if it is going to be in a hurry, I don't have to redo that entire process. It's already cleared, it's in my Pokemon Home and ready for me. And then you just open the box and now you have Meltan spawning. If it is snowy weather where you are, you will have boosted, but if it is not, that's okay too. Now you have the potential to be able to get Shiny Meltan in Pokemon Go. So good luck, and just a reminder, you get 3 XL candies for every Meltan that you do catch. So those are gonna be all the tips for the Let's Go event. Enjoy. We will have rocket tips coming up soon. Appreciate you guys being here as always. To all of my likers, comments, and subscribers, Patreon members, everybody takes their support, subscription, and participation to the next level. I'm gonna see you guys out in the next video. Peace. I want to take this time to thank everybody who supports me in every facet. It means the world to me, and an extra special thank you to all my Patreons. I greatly appreciate the extra support to continue to allow me to pursue Pokemon Go full time, allowing me to create my daily video uploads in the most timely fashion for everyone's benefit. Plus, I get the amazing experience of sharing my creative processes behind the scenes and raiding all around the globe with select upper tiers. Thank you everybody for being a part of the Trainer Club. You all mean the absolute world to me, and I will see you guys out on the next video.